KTBS has a new program in the works. It's a podcast entitled The App, which stands for Arklatex People and Politics. And it's going to be hosted by our own Jeff Beimfohr. And he is in Studio 321 right now to give us a preview. Hi, Jeff.
How are we doing, Johnette? Yeah, we are upstairs in Studio 321. That's actually divorced from our main studio, but this will be the new home of our podcast. As you said, The App, Arklatex People and Politics. We'll be talking with all sorts of politicians, people related to the political game in Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, even Oklahoma, and national figures as we get them from time to time. We wanted to start this series off with a bang, so to do that, we went to Washington, D.C. a few days ago. We had an opportunity to sit down in the ceremonial office of the Speaker of the House, which is, of course, Mike Johnson of Bossier Parish. Always good to catch up with Mike. We had a very nice conversation. That will be the main gist of the podcast, which will be dropping this Sunday. But in addition to that interview, we had an opportunity to go to the GOP Leadership News Conference, which is held once a week in the TV studios in the Capitol. I was sitting there waiting for the leadership to come out amongst all the people from Fox and ABC, all the network guys, going, all right, who's getting the first question today? Who's going to be number one? I pretty much had an inkling of who was going to get the first question, but I didn't tell them. And so the speaker came out, the other leaders, they made their presentations, and then it was time to take some questions, and let's just take a look at what went on from there.
I'll take a few questions this morning. Jeff Beimfohr.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, this relates to the budgeting process, and your statement that the Democrats had failed to engage in any meaningful conversations over the past few days. I was reading an article that quoted Jim McGovern as saying, well, first of all, you were full of blank. You can fill in the blank, a liar and a total shill for Donald Trump and Elon Musk. I've covered you for more than a decade, dating back to your time in the Louisiana legislature. Never heard anybody say anything like that about you, ever. And I wondered if you had a reaction to that.
Bless his heart.
Well, that was the perfect answer from Mike Johnson, handling that with his usual grace and aplomb. The lady you heard laughing there, I believe, was Lisa McClain. She's a new member of the Republican leadership team, a representative from Michigan. We actually got some good press on that. It was that moment was written up in several national publications, Mediaite. It was on C-SPAN, and it was noted as one of the highlights of that news conference. So we had a lot of fun with that, and we appreciate the speaker calling on us, giving us a chance to answer that question. But again, this podcast will launch on Sunday morning. This Sunday morning, it'll launch or drop every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. We have a great lineup of guests already scheduled. Of course, the speaker starts us off with a bang. Couldn't think of a better way to get started than that. And then our second show, we'll have Louisiana radio legend Moon Griffon, along with State Senator Alan Seabaugh and State Representative Dodie Horton. Now, Moon doesn't do a lot of these things aside from his radio show. He does speaking engagements, but not a lot of media stuff outside of his own programming. So we really feel privileged to have him on as well. So again, this will be weekly to begin with, and then there's some good potential that this will be dropping multiple times a week. It'll be quite a bit of work, but I think we'll have a lot of fun with it. And anyway, it's called The App. As this very subtle logo over my shoulder says, it stands for Arklatex People and Politics. It will begin this Sunday on all major podcast platforms and all the KTBS digital platforms. So we think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Let's go back to you in the main studio, Johnette.
All right, thanks, Jeff. I'm sure lots of people will be watching
Hope so.
for this one and the others to follow. Thank you for giving us a preview. Again, those episodes are going to drop every Sunday morning at 9 on all major podcast platforms starting this Sunday, February the 16th.